Hi Anurag and hi Shukta. This is
Hi.
Naveen from Cinema Express, the cinema division of New Indian Express. First question is for you, Anurag. You always made films which are you always made films about the horrors in the society, the horrors within people.
Yeah.
So, what actually drew you to make a full-fledged horror film?
I think it's the fact that I have not done it before, and it also allows me to explore something much more personal. And I like psychological horror,
Okay.
and it became an opportunity to visualize that psychological horror that a woman who's had a miscarriage once and is trying again to have a child goes through, without actually having to verbalize it so much.
And Shobita, looking at your body of work, most of your films have been pretty serious ones. So, have you ever felt that to be very demanding, or did it affect your usual life or daily schedules?
No, actually, no. I find them to be very normal, the characters I've played. Conflicted people, but I think everybody is conflicted in their own, some part of their life. So, crisis is very comforting to me.
Anurag, you had a particular set of frequent collaborators in terms of actors and technicians. So, do you think that will help you bring out a better story?
It does, it always does, because like for me, Shazia and Sylvester, who's been my production designer and my DP, we have done so much work together. Sobhita I have worked with. My writer is somebody who was my assistant, Isha Luthra. Prashant, who's been my costume person for last 3-4 projects. Yeah, but there's a kind of an understanding there. And everybody also does become a bounce board. So whenever we were looking for scripts outside and we found one within. And it also comes via people, because somebody else knows and somebody else says and read that. And then everybody bounces it off. And because it's like one team, it really helps me. Plus, they also know that we all try to, it's not just me experimenting with my own thing. Everyone, including a Sobhita, would not do something like a simmi that she did in Raman Raghav. Throw something new at her. Throw me a new challenge. Sylvester is like, isme aise kare kya? Shazia would be like, aise kare kya? Everybody experiments with their own craft. And that's where it kind of comes out.
Shobita, do you think getting a right role or getting experimenting with delivering a class performance in a OTT platform will expand the avenue for you for getting a better roles or wider set of roles in feature films?
But that would mean that this is some sort of a stepping stone. I don't see it like that. I can do like any format, any medium, in any language, in any part of the world. I'm very interested in stories. I'm very curious about people and behavior, why they do what they do. So that's where the juice is for me. What happens to it after release? I'm not a trade guy.
Okay.
I sometimes try to be, and it just doesn't suit my interests at all. So I'm just interested in the creative aspect of it.
So Anurag, you had mentioned that this is your most satisfying piece of work.
Yeah.
So considering you made a significant piece of significant films and very impactful films, do you think it's a huge statement to make?
No, and it's also because, this is, every time you deal with something on the earth. I have made films which are like 95% there, 99% there. Something. I think this is kind of 100% there, because everything one thought of doing, one got to do. And you put it out exactly the way you want it to come out. And that is satisfying in the sense. Also, plus I was doing something new where it becomes about, it's a horror film that also is about craft. Like Sylvester and Shazia and everyone, there was a collective decision of the way we shot it, the way Shazia made it very colorful sets, and then Sylvester sat down and muted it.
Okay.
So that it doesn't look black and white, but it looks like certain colors are like bleeding out, halka halka sa. That whole mood, the costumes, everything, prosthetics, the kind of things that I have not done before, and got to do it. And because I had a lot of fear that will I be able to pull it off or not, and visual effects with Arpan. It by the end of it, I was like, you know what, it just came out the way we saw it.
Anurag directed your debut film Ramanaga 2.0, and now you're part of Ghost Stories again, and it's a shorter format. So, do you see any change in the way he handles, how different is the experience of working with him?
I think this time I was a lot less afraid.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I also, I'm growing up as an individual, not just as
You
an
were
actor.
afraid in Ramandagar?
Not afraid. I was a little like nervous, like walking around eggshells because I just didn't know. It was so new. It was the newness of it. I had never faced the camera before that in my
Okay.
life, like for acting this thing. So for me, and also I was around people who were very serious and committed to their job, and there were all these technical words used, and I didn't know any of that. So for me, it was a bit. I wouldn't say intimidating because I got the part through an audition. So I just felt like, sure, I mean, I belong here, and I was, which is why I was cast. But it can be a little like a nervous experience, but in a good way. You want to do your best because you respect the people around you. But I think this time I'm free to be wrong.
Okay.
Yeah, I actually look forward to being wrong on his set.
I don't want to take particular sides right now, but right now the situation around India is kind of a more or less is kind of a horror story. As a creator, do you think it affects?
It does affect me. The fact that I decided to come back on Twitter because I just couldn't take it. And I start feeling responsible because sometimes you like silent. I said, you know what, other people are fighting. You also don't have to add to the noise and chaos. And people are fighting and they're fighting a good fight. And then when this happened, and I felt like nobody really is speaking up and things like that. At that point, one feels responsible, and it is scary. It is genuinely scary. I, in the sense, yeah, this was the if you think of the worst, what can happen with the way this government has been going on, was like, okay, I didn't know it will be this close and this near.
Just a curious question. So, do you think an art form, a cinema, can ignite or kindle the right kind of emotions, or right kind, or give them the right kind of push?
I think in the right under the right circumstances, yes, it does. But I think in circumstances like this, where everything would be a lot controlled, I don't know whether they would let
There is
things.
scope for that.
There's scope for it to even come out or emerge. But I think what's going on right now, you see the students and they're like bravehearts. They are showing us the way. They are fighting for us. We are not fighting for them.
Thank you. I guess I'm done. Thank you. Thanks a lot.